Hello everyone, today I have lined up 6 glove and knife combinations for you, completely budget friendly. Each combination has 1 pair of gloves and 2 different knives. You tell me which one you prefer. Okay, let's get straight into it. Okay, let's get into our first combination. We have the Imperial Plaid gloves, battle scarred, and they will set you back around £160. They're fucking nice, and for as, you know, as bright as they are, to get them for only £160, I think that's pretty good. Taking into account the other expensive ass skins in this game, £160, this bright of a colour, I think is pretty great. And they are matched up with the minimal wear Huntsman knife Ultraviolet. This will set you back around £128. The cheapest I found on Skinport was £128. As you can see, this combination is insane. Like, the purple matches perfectly. I'm a big fan. I like the Huntsman knife. Not too many people like the Huntsman knife, but I'm a Huntsman knife enjoyer. I think it's nice, and the animation is super clean. Like, you know, you're bunny hopping around the map, you just spin it out, it does this little flick thing. Big fan. Anyway, if you don't like the Huntsman knife and want another purple knife to match these beautiful gloves, boom. We can get... There's a lot of Shadow Dagger haters out there.
Butt plugs.
But you cannot tell me that they do not match perfectly with these gloves. I mean, come on now. That combination is insane. The daggers will only set you back £90 as well, from Skinport as well. I'm not sponsored, but that's where I find the best prices at the moment. Boom. This combination is insane. As you can see, boom, running around the map, spinning them around, they literally blend in with your gloves. So this is the first kind of 2 combinations because there's 2 different knives, but overall this is set 1, complete. Let's move on to set 2. Okay, so we're moving on to combination 2. As you can see, we've got the Constrictor hand wraps in minimal wear. They are only going to set you back £68, and overall, I think they look pretty great. I mean, they're a bit orange, they're a bit rusty, but, you know, you can use that to your advantage. If you pair them up with the Stiletto knife Rust Coat, for example, the Stiletto knife Rust Coat in Battle Scarred will only set you back £140, which is still well in the £300 budget. I think it's distinguished. Look at this. I mean, it's an original, you know, everyone knows about this one, but I thought I'd throw it in there for like newcomers and anyone that hasn't seen this combination before. I think it's very nice. You want to make sure you get Battle Scarred in the Stiletto, because it's just the worst looking one, and you kind of want to go the uglier the better. That's kind of the aesthetic of this combination, is the uglier the better. But if you don't like the Stiletto knife, for example, you can swap that out for a Rust Coat flip knife. Now, I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of the flip knife. I don't have one personally, but one day I will have a Doppler flip knife, which is my favorite flip knife. This flip knife in Battle Scarred as well will set me back 116, which is insanely good for what it is. Flip knives are usually quite expensive, but as you can see, no one wants the Rust Coat. But if you put them with this combination, it looks great. Look at this. You know, you're bunny hopping around, you're worried that you're going to get hepatitis.
It's hepatitis C!
It looks great. I am a big fan. Okay, so this is combination 2. You can either have the flip knife or you can have the Stiletto. Huge fan of both, to be honest. Huge fan of both. Okay, we're moving on to combination 3. As you can see, we had to change maps because for no reason at all, Nuke decided to kill itself. It literally decided to implode and blow up. I don't know what happened, but I was glitching out and it wouldn't let me play it. So we're moving on to Vertigo, but we're still in a very unique spot. Anyway, moving on to combination 3. Okay, so combination 3, we have sport gloves. We have the big game, well-worn sport gloves. I have never really seen anyone with these gloves in game before. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. But I really like them. You can pick them up, you know, in well worn for £150, which I don't think is too bad. If you get a really low float of well worn, they look pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of orange personally, but if you do like orange, these are pretty nice, and they are paired up with the Shadow Daggers Tiger Tooth. In factory new, you can get them for 150, which is perfectly our budget of £300. 150 for the gloves and 150 for the daggers in factory new, which is pretty great. Overall, I think this combination's absolutely incredible. I mean, they literally match perfectly. So you can just, you know, hop around the map with your shadow daggers and orange gloves. I'm a big fan, but if you don't like the shadow daggers, then I have the StatTrak Gut Knife Tiger Tooth Factory New. You can also pick up for £150, which is kind of a W. You know, most of the world hates Gut Knife, but you know, I'm a big fan. This matches the gloves like aesthetic, I think anyway. These look like fishing gloves, like hunting type of fishing gloves, in my opinion. And you know, the gut knife, it's a gut knife, so that matches this aesthetic pretty perfectly. And as you can see on the thumb, it is nearly perfect to the actual color of the blade, the pattern itself. As you can see, there are little speckles all over this glove of bright orange on the front, match the blade perfectly. And then when you inspect the palm of the hand and the thumb there, match the blade perfectly. I'm waffling, but as you can see, this is clearly a nice combination. So they're both pretty much the same amount in factory new as well. So boom, or the Shadow Daggers Tiger Tooth. Yeah, both pretty fucking nice. I'm not a fan of orange, but pretty nice overall. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Okay, so we're moving on to combination 4. I am in love with this combination. As a budget combination, this is insane. I'm a huge fan. If we start out with the Moto gloves in Smoke Out Field Tested, you can pick them up for around £150-ish. Give or take, depending where you buy them. Again, everything that you see today is going to be bought on Skimport. I am a big fan, and if you pair these gloves with this knife, the Flip Knife Urban Mast in minimal wear, you can pick up for £135. Flawless. This is such a nice minimal combination. You know, it's not the default, but it's just clean. It's not your bright, colorful, you know, your rubies, your sapphires, your super expensive. But for a budget, genuinely, it looks insane. In my opinion, this looks beautiful. And if you're not a flip knife enjoyer, even though I have no idea what's wrong with you if you don't like the flip knife, it's one of the cleanest knives. The animation isn't fantastic, but you know, you flip it out, and that's pretty much all you can ask for. It's the flip knife, beautiful. If you don't like the flip knife, then you can go with the Nomad knife, Mast in minimal wear. You can pick up for 124, which is, you know, £10 less than the flip knife. Not bad, still looks incredible. The Nomad in Urban Mast as well, minimal wear, 124. I mean, this is insane. The Nomad has to be one of my favorite knives in the game. I am a Nomad knife enjoyer. The animation of pulling it out is insane. I love that. And occasionally you get the cut on the finger animation. I'm not too sure how it cuts you through the glove, but apparently it's really rare to get as well. Nice. This is my favorite out of all of them so far. There is one more. I'm pretty sure it's the next one. That is my favorite. But for the meantime, so far, this is my favorite combination. Look at this. I mean, come on now. This is clean. You cannot deny that this is clean. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Okay, moving on to combination number 5. As you can see, incredibly bright and incredibly beautiful. Look at this. I mean, come on now. For under £300 budget, this is insane. Very, very nice gloves. If you get them low float in field tested, they look amazing. These are the Moto gloves Polygon. You can pick them up in field tested for around £150 on Skinport. Insane. They look pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. They look more minimal, if you're asking me. They look kind of minimal wear, I'm not gonna lie. They do look minimal wear, but they are indeed field tested, just a low float. You know, when you're buying these skins, make sure you look for the lowest float of that section, I'd say. So if it's field tested, you want to get the lowest float field tested you can for the budget. That's always something to look out for. It will just look a little bit more minimal wary. And if you combine that with the StatTrak Bowie knife, bright water, minimal wear, for around £152, they look insane. They match perfectly. I know this is another one of those knives that not many people like because it's basically a sword, but I'm a big fan. I mean, come on now. You can't deny how amazing these look together. They look fantastic. I wouldn't have this personally, I don't think, because again, I don't want a sword when I'm playing games. It's extremely distracting. It's massive. But yeah, very, very, very nice combination. And if you don't want the Bowie knife, you want something else that's blue to match these gloves, we have the Falchion, no idea how to say it. We have the Falchion knife, bright water as well, minimal wear, as you can see. This knife will set you back £140, so you're saving a little bit if you go for the Falchion knife instead of the Bowie knife, but I would personally say the Falchion knife is better for that animation. The one you just saw, this animation makes it very, very nice, very, very clean. The handle matches up with the thumb perfectly and the knuckles, and the blade itself matches up with the rest of the glove, which is literally perfect. But I'm not personally a fan of this. I don't like that. That inspect is, it takes up all the screen. I mean, come on. When you're bunny hopping around the map, you don't want the ginormous ass sword in the front of your screen. It's taking up the whole screen. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But this one, super, super clean. That animation, super, super nice. Boom. Spins it around. Matches the gloves perfectly. And I like the heavy swipe as well. The way you... Boom. That is nice. Big fan. So overall, the Bowie knife, bright water, minimal wear. Very, very nice with these gloves. Boom. And the Falchion knife, bright water, also an amazing choice for pairing up with the Polygon Moto gloves. Okay, so we are moving on to the last combination of this video. There will be many more. Don't you worry, there will be many more combinations for different price ranges, maybe specific colors. I might do some, 6 only red combinations for different tiers. But this is the last combination of today. We have the Moto gloves, blood pressure, in field tested, extremely low float, well, as low as I could find on Skinport, for 150. That is not bad. £150 for these gloves. They look minimal wear in my eyes. They're very, very clean, very, very nice. I'm a huge fan of these gloves. I used to have I recently had a red inventory, and these would have been perfect. And as you can see, we're matching those up with the Huntsman knife Autotronic. Incredibly nice skin, very, very nice skin. You can pick up this knife. I would say stick with the field tested because it matches the gloves a little bit better. If it, the bright version doesn't match as well in my opinion, but the field tested version is a little bit darker, and in my eyes it matches that little bit better. And it's cheaper, so that works out better anyway. This is 150. The gloves are 150. Perfectly in budget. Huge fan. Huntsman knife, once again, I don't think it's appreciated as much as it should be. I like the animation, super, super clean, and you can pick up a minimal wear Huntsman knife for £200, £170, which is pretty insane. So yeah, overall, the Huntsman knife, big fan. But if you do not like the Huntsman knife and want something a little bit different, than the Huntsman knife. I've suggested it before. I have not suggested a survival knife yet. A Crimson Web survival knife in well worn will set you back £140, but it matches these gloves literally perfectly. The pattern of the Crimson Web on the knife itself matches the webbing on the glove perfectly, as you can see. I'm not a big fan of the survival knife. The inspect is a bit meh, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing cool about this, you know? Nothing cool really happens. It pulls it out, flips it around, looks at it. Nothing really cool. Okay, occasionally you get that one. I didn't know that was a thing, but that is very cool. But that's like 1 in 10 or 20, I guess. Because I've never seen it before. But boom. I would go with the Huntsman knife for this this combination. Yeah, big fan. Big fan. I mean, yeah, Huntsman knife or the survival knife is your choice. But they're both around the same. You'll save £10 if you go survival knife instead of the Huntsman. Okay, that is going to be the end of the video. I really enjoyed making this video. I liked going into the inspect lobbies and finding the combinations. I didn't just copy them off someone. I went into the lobbies and found them myself. Not saying that I was the first one to find them, because obviously that's not the case. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this video. If you enjoyed watching this video at all, or considering creating one of these combinations, please comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. Have a fantastic day.